This episode of Walt Disney World Today is sponsored by MEI and Mousefan Travel, who specialize in cruises and vacation packages to Disney and other destinations around the world. MEI and Mousefan Travel is an authorized Disney vacation planner. They provide their signature services with no additional agency fees. To get your free no-obligation quote, visit www.mousefantravel.com.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Wednesday, June 9th, 2010, and this is episode 731 of Walt Disney World Today. I am your host, Mike Newell of MouseWorldRadio.com. On the show with me tonight is the Mixmaster himself, Mr. Mike Scopa of AllEars.net. Welcome, Mike.
Yo, yo, yo. Please gather your belongings, including smaller carbon-based life forms.
Yo, 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 huh?
Well, forget the yo, yo, yo. Please gather your belongings, including smaller carbon-based life forms.
Stitches, something.
Something in Tomorrowland.
Right. What is it?
Stitches Supersonic Celebration.
You're pretty close. But
Stitches Muppets Adventure.
nope.
Stitches Christmas Yuletide Extravaganza.
Not Stitch. Alien Encounter.
Oh.
That was close.
Yeah, we were close.
Oh,
Pre-show.
so
That's
I
the
was
pre-show. Yeah.
I was actually right in space. I wasn't right in time.
That's true.
It was-
In Space Continuum, you were right on the
Exactly.
nose.
right place, wrong time.
That's right.
Also joining us is Mr. Time himself, Len Testa, the co-author of the unofficial guide to Walt Disney World.
It is the time.
No, I want to say how's it going. Make sure you're okay.
Yeah, everything's good. Everything's good.
Good.
Yourself?
Good, thanks.
It's another day without you know who, so it's we're a little relaxed again, so we like it.
Now is the time.
And it's Wednesday. We're answering your listener questions, and I'm going to do something a little different. When Matt does the question show, normally he reads from the bottom up. This show, I'm going to read from the newest questions down. How's that?
Wow.
This way, if you wrote a question in the last week, it's probably going to get answered on this episode.
Mike Newell was a rebel.
How about that? In fact, the first question that we got is from Sharon of Long Island, New York, and that came in today at 4 o'clock.
No way.
Today! So Sharon's going to get shocked when she hears this. Well, she probably won't listen, thinking, I got months to listen. And she writes, Hi, guys and gal. While on touringplans.com, I noticed that the Princess Half Marathon was scheduled for February 2011 at the end of President's Week. Why? My husband is a teacher and hates the heat, so this is when we were going. We will be in the parks Monday through Friday, and I wanted to hit each park at least once, Magic Kingdom twice. Our plan was to go to the Magic Kingdom on the last day since it is not listed as a park to avoid. How will the Magic Kingdom be affected on Friday, February 25th with the marathon going on, and which order should we go in the parks now?
Well, so the reason why, first question was, why are they moving it? I suspect they're moving it because traditionally it was the first weekend in March, but I think that's probably getting too close to spring break season. And remember, one of Disney's goals with the half marathon, the Princess Half Marathon, is for them to fill resort rooms during slower times of the year. So I'm guessing that they're reasonably confident about filling the rooms in March now, and that's why they moved it back to sort of the end of President's Day week. Does that make sense?
Sounds right to me.
Yeah, I hope to ask someone fairly soon as to why they changed it, and if I do, I will post it on the site.
And Newell, the second question was about the specific dates.
How would it affect the Magic Kingdom, I think?
How would it affect touring, yeah.
Yeah, so it's the race itself will be on I believe on the 27th. It'll be on the Sunday. So on the Friday, shouldn't be any problem for the Magic Kingdom at all. Even on the Saturday, shouldn't be any problem at all. In fact, I think right now we've got at the Magic Kingdom listed as the best park to go to on a Saturday. It's neutral on the 25th, so it'll be fine. Sunday, you just want to watch it a little bit, depending on how they do the course itself. You'll be out of the Magic Kingdom. Everyone will be past the Magic Kingdom by 8 a.m., 9 a.m., so you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Cool. Next question is from Amanda from Willoughby, Ohio. Hi,
Willoughby! Sorry, that was my Pride and Prejudice thing.
Sorry. First, I love your show. Keep up the good work.
Oh, sorry. It was Sense and Sensibilities. Sorry. I don't want to offend any Jane Austen fans.
You know we're going to get someone's going to complain.
Please continue.
Now for the question. I am planning a trip sometime in September or October of 2011 for 10 days. This will be my dream trip, and I'll be staying at a deluxe resort. Since I have a span of 2 months to choose from, when would you recommend that I go? As a side note, my birthday is mid-October. I want to stay at the Beach Club. Would you recommend this? Also, do they offer AP discounts for this hotel?
Okay, so let me do the date thing. Anything the week before Halloween looks to be really, really good. Actually, really anything from like the 17th, mid-October on is looks fabulous. After Columbus Day, so after the Monday of Columbus Day, if you arrive like on that Thursday, anything after that through Halloween looks great. Scopo, what do you think about Beach Club?
I was going to say that time. I would think with food and wine going on. I mean, what else? I mean, you can't go wrong with being in an Epcot resort, especially Beach Club around that time. I can't think of anything better. I mean, October. I love October, and it's obvious that Beach Club is right close to Epcot. I think it's to use your terms, fabulous.
Yeah, and in terms of discounts, Beach Club is usually one of the resorts that you'll typically find AP discounts for, and if not AP discounts, regular discounts should be available as well. I don't think you'll have any trouble getting into Beach Club.
Really quick, Amanda writes, last thing, due to work, I won't be able to book my trip until March or April of 2011. Do you think this would be a problem? And can I make an ADR without having a hotel reservation?
Shouldn't be a problem, and yes, you can make ADRs without having a hotel reservation. Not a problem at all.
Cool.
You're doing a great job, Mike.
You've pronounced every name and location.
It's only been
right
one
thus far.
It's only been one.
That's right.
Okay.
And you have yet to mention studios, which is really good.
It's really refreshing. Let me just say.
Never heard of the place.
Yeah, whatever.
Next email is from Becky Cole or Kale. Oh, Becky Kale.
Oh, you spoke too soon.
From Cincinnati. She writes, Dear Scopa and Len, hi to everyone else, but this is not your thing. I'm all signed up for the half marathon in January 2011. Just wondering, where is the best place to stay on property to maximize sleep time? It sounds like you have to get up at an ungodly hour in the morning, and I'm hoping to spend as little time traveling as possible. And since we're talking about it, what exactly are the logistics of getting to the starting line? Do the resorts have a bus of getting there? Thanks for all the help.
Okay, well, there are buses that begin picking up race participants real early in the morning. I know that for the Princess Half Marathon, there were host hotels that had these buses, and not every resort had buses. But I believe for the half marathon and marathon, I believe that each resort has buses that will take you to Epcot. As far as the hotel where you would stay to get the most sleep, that's tough to say because it depends upon how you're going to get to Epcot. If you're going to drive to Epcot, then I would say any of the Epcot resorts, or actually any of the Epcot resorts would probably be the answer. I've stayed at the Beach Club, I've stayed at Pop Century, and each time I've pretty much had the same amount of sleep. The thing is, if this is going to be your first time running it down there, you may not sleep that night before anyways. Len, what do you think would be the closest?
I think the Epcot resorts too. Yeah, anything Beach Club, Yacht Club, Boardwalk, I think that's the best way to go. Simply because transportation time is going to be 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
Keeping up on the latest questions, here's one that was sent in yesterday. This is from Lance. Yeah,
this is really impressive.
I like this idea. Lance of West Palm Beach writes, I'm writing this while sitting next to the Polynesian pool on a Saturday night. That means he's there right now.
Arg.
Not really
Polynesian.
Not really a planning question, but here it is nonetheless. What does Disney do to keep the parks and resorts so bug and mosquito free? It's simply amazing to think that people could enjoy Florida evenings without the constant swatting. What is their secret?
Okay, I actually have. Well, do you have any information on this, Len? Because I
No,
have.
no, go ahead.
Talking with a friend, talking with a Reedy Creek official, I was informed a few years ago that there is some spraying that takes place between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, and they're very careful about the spray that they use, and they're always checking for mosquitoes, and they're always checking to see what kind of insect is out there. And I've heard that they actually have cages with like chickens, or I'm not sure how true this is. This might have been a story that they just wanted to tell me, but there are chickens in a cage, and they put them out there, and then they check the chickens from time to time for mosquito bites, and that they can tell what kind of repellent they need to spray to kill the mosquitoes.
Wow.
Yeah, I've heard that they place these cages at various spots within the resort, but I believe that these are very remote areas where breeding can take place a lot easier than other areas. So they're always checking for that. And from what I understand, from a certain point in the spring to a certain point in the fall, I guess until the first time it hits below 40 maybe, I believe they're spraying almost every night. Again, I take that with a grain of salt. But that's what I was told by an official down there.
Cool.
Okay, next question is from Marty Doherty of Chicago, Illinois. Hey, gang, love the show. Just got back from a great trip at the Beach Club. Had a great time, and the Beach Club is probably one of my favorite resorts on property. Since I spend most of my time at Epcot and the studios, I really didn't use the bus much. So you can imagine my surprise when I took a bus back to the Beach Club from Animal Kingdom and got to visit each and every Epcot resort on the way home.
I hate when they do that.
This can't be normal, can it? I mean, the Beach Club is so close to high 200, low 300 a night, and a deluxe resort, yet they share a bus system with 5 other resorts. We stopped at the Swan, the Dolphin, the Yacht, Beach, and the Boardwalk. I fully understand that they're all semi-close by to each other, but it takes forever to get back from someplace. I was stunned when I saw the sign with 5 resorts on it. Is this typical?
Yeah, so during slow times it is. They'll combine bus service either to get more people on the bus or just simply to save money. It's unfortunate, but yeah.
Somebody named loyal listener, Earman Cummings, writes, "Hey, WDW Today team, I'm a huge fan of Disney World and your show, which is why I'm asking this question. I'm going to Disney World with my girlfriend in October. I've been to Disney World almost every year since I was 2, and she has never been. When I go to Disney, there are things that I have to do for myself, family traditions and rides I personally enjoy. For me, nothing beats an afternoon riding the TTA and sitting through the Carousel of Progress, or simply skipping the rides and looking for hidden Mickeys. My question is, are there any attractions you think a first-timer would need to do? I think that she is looking for the quintessential Disney trip, and I don't want to bog that down by looking for names of Imagineers in the queue line for Jungle Cruise. Thanks a lot."
Yeah, so this is a mistake I've made once, taking somebody who had never been to Walt Disney World the first time, and I was you're trying to show them, Main Street, and really they were more interested in thrill rides. The thing I would say is figure out what your girlfriend wants to see and go do some of those things first. You don't have to do them all first, but do a good mix, a good balance of here are great rides or rides that she wants to see, and then rides that you want to do as well. And then make sure she gets to pick places to eat too.
Yeah, Len makes a good point. It should be their trip, because if you've been there before, you've had the opportunity to experience it. You want to give it. You want them to have their trip, and you also want to experience the trip through their eyes. So, having them call the shots and say, "Hey, what would you like?" I think that's the best way to go.
Yeah.
Next question is from Jenny of Worcester, Massachusetts. Is there a
Worcester?
Worcester?
Worcester.
Worcester.
We up here in New England say Worcester.
Worcester.
Yeah, you also say wicked a lot, so that doesn't make it any better.
Worcester.
Hey, Jenny writes,
70 miles from where I am right now. Worcester.
Cool.
Worcester.
Jenny writes, "Hey guys, first of all, I wanted to say thanks for the show. I'm a former cast member, and listening to your show makes me feel like I'm back at home. As much as I love Disney, I am even a bigger fan of the Muppets. I know Disney has been trying to reinvent the Muppets recently. They've used them in their Give a Day, Get a Day campaign.
Yep.
There is a proposed Fraggle Rock movie in the works, and several hilarious YouTube videos from Muppet Studios. In addition to the rumors of the new original Muppet movie and Dark Crystal 2. With all this going on, do you think that they will be adding to the Muppet section of the studios? Is it possible that they would bring back home some of the original ideas from Muppet Land?
Wow, I don't know how they would fit it in, but I do know that at one point on the boards was a great Muppet movie ride, and I don't know what happened with that. I don't know if it was a Jim Henson, Brian Henson thing that happened. I think the first question I would have was where would they put all this stuff? Once that question would be answered, then I'd say, well, maybe somewhere, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting because we also have Marvel now, so we don't know what's going to happen with that.
That's right. Next question is from Jessica of Wisconsin. Loving your podcast. I enjoy listening while I'm at work, and it really gets me excited for my upcoming Disney World Disney Cruise honeymoon in September. That would be this September, guys, because we are 3 days away from this question was entered. Exciting.
Wow.
Exciting.
Wow.
I was just wondering what some inexpensive to-dos are on our trip. Budget isn't really an issue. More or less quick things to do that doesn't involve reservation and really serve more than a break in the day than an event. I'd love to try the kitchen sink at Beaches and Cream and was wondering if this might be a good one.
Oh, Scoopy, you've done that, right?
What? No, Becky wanted me to take a shot at it. I've never had the kitchen sink. I've had the No Way Jose. I think that it's something that you need about 6 or 7 people to eat it. I really do. Or Fred Block.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty big. It's like a half of a. It's like if you take a. Well, the latest rendition of it is a. You take a basketball, cut it in half, and fill it with ice cream, and then you put every topping known to man on the ice cream, and then you eat it. No
Next
thanks.
question. No thanks. It doesn't sound at all. Ugh. Next question is from Rick of Boalsburg, Pennsylvania. Okay, so everyone got a kick out of the T-shirt. Thanks again for the visual bit on an audio-only show. And I'm looking all over the site and don't see it. I think it's up there by now. Anyway, I'm headed to the store this weekend to pick up an unofficial guide, our first one, as we have been official guide people for years. For our first trip in May 2011. It may be a little early, but hey, just an excuse to pick up next year's unofficial guide. Sweet, 2 things. All right, you get 2 things.
Still, thanks.
Our next question is from Erin from Auburn, Alabama. Hey, gang, my boyfriend and I will be coming for a weeks-long trip, and we'll be checking in on July 4th. We are in our late 20s and early 30s, and he has never been to Walt Disney World. I have been many times, none recently, but never during the 4th of July. I have originally been thinking for us to head to Epcot after check-in around 3 or so, that we can watch illuminations that night. I know Magic Kingdom has special fireworks on the 3rd and 4th, of course, but going on the 3rd to Magic Kingdom and Epcot on the 4th is not an option. Will we be able to go to both parks later in the week to see the normal fireworks?
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
But on July 4th, if you're not in the Magic Kingdom by 4 o'clock, it's a strong possibility that they would close the gates. I know that there have been. I know I was there one time on July 4th, and they closed the plaza, the toll plaza, unless you were going to one of the monorail hotels for dinner, or if you stayed there. You know, they would not let you. They would not let you in. It was just the park was at capacity by 4 o'clock on July 4th.
Mm.
And Aaron also asked, which is the best, the better show, the best park?
The better show.
The better fireworks show. Probably Magic Kingdom, right?
Well, they're both good. It's really hard to
Yeah.
say. It depends upon. I think that. Wow. It's really hard to say. They're pretty much the same, but the reason why I would go with Epcot instead of the Magic Kingdom is because I believe that in both cases, you're going to have their regular fireworks, and then you're going to have the July 4th patriotic tag.
Yep.
So if you're going with that, and if you happen to favor illuminations over Wishes or whatever they're showing, at Nightastic, then I got to say that, I got to say that it's a wash with the patriotic tag, but I'm going to go with Illuminations in Epcot.
Okay. Next question is from Carlos de Sosa from Toronto, Canada. I hope I pronounced that right, Carlos. He's the host of the Northern Mouse podcast.
Canada.
You know where Fred is from.
Yeah.
The fabulous Fred Hazelton. Hello, guys in the net and guests, if any. First of all, love the show. I listen to about 30 podcasts and usually bump yours to the top when it comes on. Thanks, Carlos.
Ooh, thanks.
Through a fortunate series of events, I'm going to be running in the Wine and Dine Half Marathon in October, although it will be a short weekend trip. I know Mike and Len have run the Tower of Terror race in the past. What did you do the day of the race? I have never run in an evening race, and I am not sure what to expect. Is touring the parks during the day a really bad idea?
Well, we did our race was only 8 miles, and I know that sounds like a lot for some, but it's not like running a half or a full. So I know I took it easy. I tried to stay out of the sun. I tried to stay off my feet. I think that when you're talking about a half marathon, it's a little bit different. I think that you have to figure out how you're going to do your last 36 hours. Depending upon how well you want to run. If you're looking for a personal record, then you're going to be very, very careful. If you just don't want to get swept and you just want to have a nice, easy run, you may be a little bit more lax with your preparation. But I would say that one of the things you have to be careful of is being on your feet too much the 2 days before the race, and you also have to be careful about being in the sun too much because that's going to drain your energy. So I would say. If you want to do the parks, I would say do them in the morning of that day, and probably get out of the sun and get off your feet around noon or early afternoon, and just take it easy in at the hotel. Glenn, what are you thinking?
I did the same thing. I did some early park touring in the morning, and then I kind of had a really nice lunch, went back to my hotel and napped for. Well, I napped for 4 to 6 hours. Many people would consider that actually going back to bed, but not me. That's actually a nap.
Okay, next question is from Travis Kelly of Harrisonburg, Virginia. Hello, it's always been a dream of mine to see the space shuttle launch. With only a few shuttles remaining, we scheduled a trip to Orlando according with the NASA schedule. We chose the next to last scheduled launch, which is scheduled for the last week of July. The launch was just moved to November, so now we have this timeshare reserved during the hottest 2 weeks of the year for no good reason.
Mm.
Also, that's the one bad thing about going down there just to see a shuttle launch, because of all the shuttle launches I've seen, I think half of them were bumped for one reason or another, whether it be weather or...
Yeah, the odds are it's going to be bumped.
Wasn't there a shuttle launch like 2 years ago at Mousefest or something like that?
Yes. Yeah. I guess it was.
That was amazing. I've seen 2 shuttle launches. Both coincidentally, I was staying at the Animal Kingdom Lodge for both of them. It's a hoot.
It is a hoot.
You know that the best place to see it is if you're in Canada. And I think the launch came over Mexico. Was it over Mexico? Trying to remember. But yeah, it's too bad. You just don't know. You're right, Mike. You never know. You go through all the necessary steps to make arrangements, and you have to deal with what NASA says.
Next question is from Craig Wiseman of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Happy greetings to Matt, Mike, Len, and Mike, and Flucky the Fabulous Annette. I've been listening to the podcast for a long time, and although we've been to Walt Disney World many times, I still find the unofficial guide to Walt Disney World a great resource.
Thanks.
I've heard you all discuss the DDP many times and understand that using pure math, it's not worth it. That being the Disney dining plan.
Right.
One thing I've learned from experience, and the real reason we go with the dining plan, is this. The times that we've gone and not done the Disney dining plan, as a family, we pretty much daily get into the worry about how much things cost and which entree or restaurant is a better value for the money. Not infrequently, these discussions get quite heated. Going with the dining plan makes all this disappear, and we seem to focus only on picking places based on how much we'd enjoy them, rather than about how much it cost or value. And that is what vacationing is all about. Just my 2 cents on why you might choose the dining plan.
So that's actually the number one reason why people pick the dining plan. It's not that the quantity of food that people like to eat. It's the convenience that comes with knowing that you've prepaid for your meals and you can get sit-down meals anywhere. Here's the thing, though. Do you remember the dining plan in 2010 has seasonal pricing, where during the weeks around holidays and summer, so mid-June to mid-August, the dining plan is like $46 for adults. The vast majority of people would be better off if they just took $46 per day for adults and put it put that money in an envelope somewhere, and then just brought the envelope with the money with them to Walt Disney World and paid for their meals out of that. Because the people who are buying ordering stuff from the low end of the menu or even the median priced entrees are generally going to be better off with paying cash rather than using the dining plan. And if you miss even one sit down meal, or if you've got kids that are like age 10 through 13 and they can't eat an adult sized portion of food every night, you're just wasting money. So I understand the convenience factor of everything paid for, but a little bit of discipline goes a long way on that.
Not to mention, Len, where you're actually eating.
It's true. You have to also be able to get into a restaurant that you like. It doesn't make sense to always eat at China.
Plaza.
Yeah, the Plaza.
Ooh,
Yeah,
China.
China's actually not bad. But
Next question is from Paul Lally of Selkirk, New York. Gentlemen and lady, if appropriate. Oh, no lady tonight. Sorry. My friend and I are planning on making a 5-day trip to Walt Disney World after Thanksgiving this year in 2010. The trip is specifically to see all the special Christmas and holiday-related decorations and events. As part of that purpose, we intend on touring some of the resorts while we're there to see how they decorate for the season. The Gingerbread House at the Grand Floridian and the Carousel at the Beach Club, for example, are top priorities. Good choices, by the way.
Yeah,
I love going to the Gingerbread House. We've also seen on various Travel Channel specials that many of the campers over at Fort Wilderness decorate their campsites for the holidays as well. We'd like to spend some time exploring the campgrounds to see what people have come up with. We've never been to Fort Wilderness, however, and we are seeking your touring advice. We will be taking a resort lunch from the Magic Kingdom, probably around 11 a.m. or noon. My question is, how many campers even have their sites decorated this soon into the holiday season? That's the first question. Let's answer that.
Well,
more
we don't
than you
know.
think.
We don't know how many, but we know that there's a lot. Mike, you and I have seen. There are people there who will go down in October and will stay there for a month and a half. Retired people or whatever, and they will just put. They'll put regular homes to shame with all the decorations. It's definitely National Lampoon. Christmas.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know about going at 11 a.m. I would go in the late afternoon, early evening.
Go late when it's dark, so like 6 p.m. Actually, it would be great just to go do dinner at Trails Inn and just do some walking around.
Yeah.
And Paul also asks, how long should we expect to spend looking at the campground?
Oh
Couple
my
hours.
God.
Yeah, you can walk around for quite a long time.
Maybe 2 nights. Maybe 2 nights.
Yeah, that's an idea. Split up over 2 nights. It's a better idea, actually.
And what is the best way to explore? Are the campsites all close enough to each other to walk from one to the next, or should we plan on using the resort's internal bus system?
Yeah, I would use the internal bus system.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Can you rent one of those electric carts? I don't know.
It's expensive. It's like $50 a day.
Well,
Yeah, it's a lot. Cars are cheaper.
Exactly.
Not that you can use it right. But. Okay, it's time for the last question. This is where I would pick out one of 3 questions, and one of our special guests will pick the question that we answer. And to do that is a surprise. Ladies and gentlemen, Becky Menken of MEI and Mouse Fan Travel has joined us.
Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
it's going really good. How are you guys?
Good.
good.
So Becky,
Surprise!
welcome aboard. We've chosen
Well,
you.
thank you.
Since Matt's not here, we've chosen you to pick the last question for tonight. How does that sound?
Awesome. I feel so honored. Can I
Usually-
pick 3? There's 3, and I can pick 3, right?
if you want to pick 3, we can pick 3. Are you
Go
ready?
for it.
Okay, here are the questions.
I'm ready.
Okay, the first one is about 10 Fest 2011, Magic Kingdom ADRs, and this is what it says: will we have to sit on each other's lap?
Awesome.
Wow.
Thank
you. I can't avoid number 3. I think that just has way too much intrigue to it.
You got to understand, at the very last second, I texted Becky, can you come on and pick a question? She had no idea what we were doing.
That's great.
I had no idea. Just, hey, come on in. Sure, I'm here.
Sure.
Come on
number
down.
3.
Okay, number
The third
3.
one.
The last question of today is from Blair Campbell. I don't know where Blair's from. She didn't say. But hello to all of you beautiful people. Apparently, I have a very odd question. It seems like every time you all are given a question about dining, it's either for a single traveler or a family of 1,000. With the normal family size being 4, I've always had an issue when it came to mealtime for our family. We have 6 members. It seems like the best place for a family this size is a buffet, like Crystal Palace. But I'm curious if you find folks have other suggestions for my freakishly sized family count. We've had some odd experiences in Disney, like being seated at 4 at one table and 2 for another. She's got a family of 6.
6.
Well,
Okay.
well, the first thing I would say is that with a family of 6, you want to be able to make an ADR for a time that's probably not that busy for the restaurant. So I think you're looking at maybe an unusual time to eat lunch or dinner, maybe a late lunch or a late dinner. I think that's one of the things you have to look at, that the regular dining times for lunch and breakfast and dinner are going to be tough. That's number 1. Number 2, I would say early. Make your ADRs as soon as you can. I mean, that's those 2. After those 2, I don't know what to say.
Do I get to jump in here too? Because
Sure,
that actually
sure.
is a good one. Just as you said, they do like to accommodate larger groups either at the very beginning of the seating or near the end. But also look at the restaurants that can accommodate those tables pretty easily, like over at Ohana. It's actually pretty easy for them to pull different tables together to accommodate groups of 6 and 8 and 10 even. So there are a lot of those types of restaurants. Le Cellier, you can pull tables together. So there's a lot of flexibility there as well.
So you don't necessarily need to go to a buffet, is what she's saying.
Right.
You could also try Tepanido, which seats, 8 or 9?
Ooh, yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like places like Nine Dragons is also a place you could go to. I'd say be wary of the smaller footprint restaurants like Plaza. That would be tough.
But that key to, of course, make the reservations early when your dining time opens up is definitely a good tip.
Yep.
Okay, well, that's it for our show today. Don't forget that this episode is sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. And Becky, is there anything coming up that you'd like to plug?
Wow.
Any specials going on that I'm not aware of?
Oh, we're still looking down the barrel of the free dining that's sitting out there that's going to be going on through August 14th.
Nice.
So you can still get your free dining in there. There's also a 40% off room rate offer that's going on through August 14th as well. And we, of course, are half sold out now on our group space for Reunion 2010 in December.
Wow.
So that's one of those things that's booking up really, really fast.
I gotta put in my reservations.
Yeah, really.
We're usually the last ones, but Well, thanks for coming on, Becky. Appreciate you helping
Thanks,
out the
Not
last
a
Becky.
questions.
problem.
Thanks, Becky.
for pulling me in. That's great.
And if you want to find all their episodes, read our show notes, or send us questions, visit the WDW Today webpage at wdwtoday.com. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, Matt Hochberg, and the lovely Becky Making, I'm Mike Newell. We'll see you on the next show.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.